Hello everyone, today I'm going to be sharing an updated video of how I feed my sourdough. It's really simple and I feel like sourdough gets overcomplicated, so hopefully this video will help you feel more confident and not as overwhelmed when starting sourdough. You'll typically want to wait until your dough has risen about double, and then once it starts to fall, that is when it's great to use. I found that when I fed this, it was growing too rapidly, so I had to adjust my time so that way it would be ready for when I needed to use it for baking. Each sourdough is different, so you'll just have to learn yours. So starting out, you're going to start out with your sourdough starter. I am starting out with 300 grams. This is what I need to make my dough. I'm getting ready to make 20 loaves, so this is what I'll need to be making the 20 loaves. So I start out with 300 milliliters or grams, of sourdough starter. Whatever measurement you're using, you're going to want to use it for the same starter as the flour to water ratio. I typically like to do a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I have 300 milliliters of sourdough starter, I'm going to put in the same amount of flour and the same amount of water. I typically like to do warmer water versus cold water. It's just a personal preference, but that's just what my go-to is. Um, Colder water will make it not rise as quickly. So when you use warm water, you will typically have a faster rise. So as you can see, I am using a digital scale. I do know of some people who have used it sourdough and are very well equipped and know kind of the texture of it and do not use the scale. I personally use it just for my own peace of mind. But sourdough can be forgiving, unlike what you've heard. So as long as it's pretty much in the ballpark of being equal, then you're totally fine. I end up having to add flour to this because it was a little bit more on the hydrated side than what I like. I think in total I probably added about, I would say, a third of a cup more flour. And you'll see, I'll slow down the video so that way you can kind of see the consistency that you're looking for. I just don't want to make you suffer and watch me stir it. The whisk that I am using is controversial. I use a whisk because I want all of that flour broken up. Some people don't like using whisk in their sourdough, but for me, I find it just speeds up the process and mix everything very well. So here you'll get to see that consistency. You want like a very thick pancake batter consistency. Now, what I do next is typically just my preference. I like to clean the bowl so that way I can see the rise. This isn't something you have to do. I clean my bowl thoroughly about once a week. I know that's also not something everyone does, but that's just something I prefer to do. Um, it just makes it look nicer, but it's just a personal preference. This part you can skip when feeding and just go ahead and put your lid on. Something I will say about this container that I have is I'm going to be swapping out the lid. This bamboo lid, I feel like it's going to end up attracting moisture or mold. So this, as soon as I can find the lid replacement, it's going to be gone. But that is all for today's video. As you can see, sourdough is actually pretty easy. I feel like it gets overcomplicated with all these rules and recipes, but it's very simple. I just follow the 1-to-1 ratio. As always, if you have any questions or tips, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing from you. And please, if you would like and subscribe this video to help us grow our channel. Thank you so much for watching.